Welcome to Profiletraders. This is Reza and you are listening to my market analysis for March the 6th. Before I start, let me share with you few very important things that are taking place as we speak simultaneously. Number one, we have an extraordinary, out of control collapse, literal collapse of euro. Now some argue this is designed to happen. Some other argue that it's a full-blown panic going on. And I can tell you that regardless of who says what, whenever you have a dislocation as such that is happening in an asset, it is never, ever good. This is causing several problems. Of course, as the confidence is going away from euro and you're at the stage where Mr. Draghi finds it funny and amusing to come and start a QE at these levels, can only create a very uncertain future of what will happen to the euro, especially at a collapse that is undertaken at this rate that we have seen recently. Number two, this is making the dollar to strengthen absolutely unexpectedly, and it is becoming a tremendous problem for the Federal Reserve and for the United States. The Federal Reserve is in a very bad situation because their tool of raising rates for whatever reason and at whatever time that they decide to use it is getting destroyed. Why? Because you cannot come and hike rates on already a currency that has appreciated so parabolically that you're going to make it even go more parabolically. You're already seeing a lot of complaints from US companies because they are using trade advantage in regards to their products and their exports abroad. So that's another problem. You take that, you add to it a complete destruction in the market of crude oil that happened from $114 to $42 in a matter of 2 months. Again, dislocation, you destroyed entirely a market in 2 months. And on the other hand, there is the constant non-stop destruction of gold, which is absolutely a complete surprise because these are the best market conditions for people to park their money under gold. But some invisible hand is doing all that there is out there to do to keep this asset under its production costs and very undervalued. Now, my personal belief is that this is done for two purposes. Number one, for China to accumulate dirt cheap gold as a backbone for the currency that they will introduce in about 3 to 4 years to be a direct challenge to the dollar. And number two, when gold goes up, it's a slap to the confidence of the Fed. And as long as gold remains low, the Fed can always come and say, you see, everybody is very relaxed and nobody is worried about no uncertainty and nobody is buying gold. But again, it is very unnatural when you do not allow a market to appreciate based on its supply and demand and constantly keep it under pressure artificially. Again, you create dislocation. Last, you have to also be aware that the bonds dropped significantly Friday and the rates shoot up like crazy. This is a forced rate hike by the market to the face of the Federal Reserve, saying that if you do not start to get your house in order and all this crazy stuff going on all at the same time, we don't even want to hold your bonds. We're going to dump it all. And when they dump the bonds, the rates go up. So all I am saying, based on what I am seeing here, added to this all the geopolitical novelties that we are seeing, such as, for example, Israel being completely replaced by Obama with Iran. You are seeing now a new complete under the table secret negotiation between Obama and the Ayatollahs, and now the Ayatollahs are fighting with Iraqi soldiers that we trained and armed and financed ISIS over there. These are not all anything that is coincidence. These things are all planned. So you have all the old allies such as Saudis, Kuwaitis, you name it, the Gulf, the Arab Union, etc., all lost, watching with their mouth big wide open. What the hell is this man in the White House doing? Now becoming a BFF with the mullahs? And at the same time, Israel is super pissed off because they know that this is what's going on, and they are trying to build alliances with Saudi Arabia and others. So make a long story short, a lot of new massive chaos with ISIS, etc., injected in the Middle East at the same time that everything that I told you that is going on. So it looks to me that a very, very brutal storm is brewing. I just want you to be careful and be aware of it. Now back to the market. I gave you every single breakdown number and where it was gonna go. I told you the market wasn't looking healthy when we were way up there. I told you that once we come down and start to get away from 2090, the game is over. Market is gonna be on a collapsing mode, and we are. Now we are on a free fall mode. They will sell every bounce that will come as a result of dumb money buying into dips, thinking that this orgy will continue and last forever. So 2080 now is very important, because as long as we remain below 2080, there is a lot of room to the downside. First downside objective will be 2060, and then second downside objective will be 2050. If we violate above 2080 and we start to gain momentum on the upside, then most likely we are going to go delete a good portion of the profile above 2080 and retrace all the way up to possibly 2090. But everything looks very bearish. The close was very bearish. The profile is trending down. Every aspect of overvaluation that you look at is out of the chart. So there is a lot of room here for correction. And chart looks super duper negative. Therefore the trades are now wait for bounces, even though if they look convincing at first, it's a matter of time that it fails. There is just too much going on out there for this market to be able to sustain this scam that it has been going on for so long. Well, the 52 target that I gave you from a 48 buy was dead on. I mean dead on. From 52 now we are back to 49. And I gave you the last time a bracket, 50.45 to 50.70 as a sell zone, 49.29, 49.5 as a buy zone. Sell zone nailed it, and for a long while buy zone also tried to hold it, and finally it ended up holding it. So again now as long as we are going to remain above 49.29 to, let's say, roughly 49, then we should go challenge the upper part of what is building up to be a rotation here. Anywhere below 50, I don't believe oil is going to last long, because with everything that is going on out there and this exceptionally brutal cold in the United States and other possible disruption of supply from the Middle East, below 50 it's a very dangerous proposal to maintain short. Again, in my simple mind opinion, I may be completely wrong. So as long as we are now in this bracket, we buy the low of the bracket, sell the high of the bracket, the 49 on the downside and 50 half to the upside until one side decides to break up or break down. Gold, it was doing nothing, and I told you that 1197 was the level that we did not want to exit out of, and it's a level that was supported at least 8 times. But this time, no mercy. They opened it, and as they knew there were millions of stops resting at that level, they knew that if they were going to trigger enough sell to kick that level of stop, this is the result they were going to get in exchange. So a complete total collapse of gold. We are now at absolutely deathly critical support. 1158 to 1161 is where it should hold. We break that, then my guess is next 1150. On the upside, the main level of resistance now is at 1180. Therefore, it's very possible that now we are going to form a trading range going from 1158 to 1180. And if that's going to happen, we need to buy as close as possible to the low of the bracket and then let it ride and rotate to the other side of the bracket. But until either or of these two level breaks, there is no likelihood of direction going on from here. We already got a lot of direction on Friday for absolutely hot air. For no reason, absolutely no reason. This poor asset didn't miss its earning, didn't miss its sales, didn't have a CEO stealing, didn't have a pedophile as a CFO, whatever. But it got destroyed. Now go figure out how and why and for what reason. So watch these two numbers, the low and the high of the bracket. My guess is that we are going to start to stabilize and go a little bit sideways from here. As always, thank you for listening. If you want or decide to join us as a member of our trading group, check my website profiletraders.com. You can get all my courses and 1 year access to my trading room for $550. Very good value deal. Have a great weekend.